Cat Williams, and you're listening to Please Send Dick Pics. And secretly, I'm a 6'1". Special guest co-host today,
Tara Shakespeare.
Woo! And you're listening to Please Send Dick Pics. Yeah. Tara cannot say it, otherwise she'll start getting them. So we don't want her saying that word. She doesn't want to curse herself. So I hope I didn't do anything.
I don't want any.
Yeah, don't send her any. A lot of women are like 20, 5% getting them, but her do not do it at all. So I don't really want them. It's kind of like, I guess it's an oxymoron, the title of this podcast, but we have gotten some ones that are decorated with flowers and monocles and pirates. And, we did go, you don't have to say it obviously, but I'm going to describe one that we got recently actually, because I said I would mention it and I don't want to forget by the end of the podcast. I told this I think it's like a German dude. We did get one from Fudge. I'm trying to bring up my web browser. Anyways, while I'm doing that, tell me, how was your Sunday? What did you do?
Took my kids to church. I don't usually go to Costco with them, but I had them with me plus one. So I had 5 kids with me at Costco. That was fun.
Oh, gosh. It's already a bustling place on a Sunday.
Oh, it's not fun. It's not. It's tough when you have children, and it's tough it's just tough to go to Costco. Like, you gotta be a thug. You gotta be a straight, hardcore gangster thug to go to Costco anyway. But to go with children and people are looking at me like, why is she so loud? And I'm just like, because if I don't be loud and yell at the kids to stay with me, somebody'll take them. So I have to,
Yeah.
I'm always afraid somebody's gonna run. I mean, I know they'll bring them back because
It's Costco. It's freaking Costco. They're all just like, I'm sorry. They're all like earth conscious.
And then it's just like, I feel like I'm hurting them all the time. Like, come on, cows, come on. It's just like, come on, sugar. All right, grab the little one, and it's
it's a balancing act.
Everybody forgets the little one, and swear, like every now and again, I'm like, where's the little one? And I freak out a little. So I'm just like, geez, Costco's tough.
Yeah, and then you might find a kid in a bin if you're not careful, because things are so big there. You might find them in a container. The little one might be in a container of peanut butter somehow. Like, it's just so big at that place.
Well, if you lose one, they're 9 times out of 10 standing by the cheesecake lady.
Oh, okay. That's a good place. Yeah. They're free food.
No, we're just waiting for her to cut some more of the cheesecake slithers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, come on, stop cutting the slithers. Give my baby the cake. Just give him the entire cake. We don't have time for the foolishness. Just give us
the whole
the
thing.
Cheesecake.
That sounds good. Yeah, I would go there for food too, like to eat. If I was homeless, I would definitely have a Costco membership so I can go eat.
I mean, it costs like $55 a year, so I don't know how you'd maintain that.
Yeah.
But
from all my donations on the off-ramp of the freeway.
You're so stupid. Like, I gotta keep this up. I just can't let it slip. But it's fun to go and have lunch with them there. It is not fun to go and shop for them there,
Yeah, the lunch is good. I like the hot dogs when I was vegan. Or no, when not vegan, sorry. When I was vegan, I love the meat hot dogs there. Doesn't sound
When I
right.
was vegan, I was just like, no, just give me the bun and I'm going to put some relish and it's just going to be mustard and relish hot dog. No, we don't. Mm-mm. No, my kids are like, yeah, can you put 2 dogs on my bun?
Oh my
They're
gosh.
huge.
That's delicious. Did you go to Costco when it was called Price Club? Do you remember that?
Girl, look, we were poor growing up, so when it was called Price Club, it was like a dream. Like, oh my God, there's a place called Price Club, and you can get samples, and you can eat and sit on there. Like, I've taken a nap in Costco, like on those comfy little lawn chairs they be selling.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's my G right there. My dad laughs at me. He's like, daughter, are you sleeping at Costco again? Yes, I am.
They're closed. Sorry, staying the night. I'm gonna get into all the food. They have a deli. Do you like how Fry's Marketplace? Okay, so it's basically Kroger for people who are listening. Kroger, Ralph's. There's a place called Fry's Marketplace that's selling clothes and furniture now. Do you like that?
No, I generally try not to buy my chicken, my dresses, and my sofas at the same place. But
Except Costco. That's fine.
You're right, because I did buy 2 tables from Costco, and I bought a birthday cake and a slab of ribs on the same day. So I was just like, you can do that. I mean, no judgment at Costco, but any place else, it's like, ew, what are we, hippies? So, no.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like every place is trying to sell everything. Like, everyone's trying to be a Walmart or a Costco.
Well, I'm a truck driver, so it's crazy because, like, I haul all that stuff. I've delivered to Costco. So it pisses me off when I have to go and buy it. Because I'm like, I brought it to you. You should just give me some food.
So that's your main job. Where have you gone? Like truck driving like across the country?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've been a truck driver for like 6 years. 6 years I've been a driver, and I've gone as far as Hartford, Connecticut, Massachusetts, you name it.
Cool.
Down all the way down to Laredo in that area. Yeah, girl, I'm a hustler. I gotta work. I got 7. Come on, I got 100 kids. You know that. So
you said 100, 100 kids, 100.
It's like, but it's crazy because I'm always like trying to figure out a way to like feed them cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Just take stuff from the truck. Like, just don't even deliver it.
You know how tempting that is? It pisses me off. Like, they sent me to get some potatoes right before I came home. And I just was like, you know what? The people, okay, so they put your truck up on this big, big thing, and they just tilt the potatoes because they send them in bulk. So there's just a gang of potatoes in the bottom of the truck just sitting there. And so they put the trailer of it up on this huge thing, this lift, and they tilt it backwards, and it just empties out onto the conveyor belt. So, it's crazy. I know, it's just crazy. And then you're just looking at it, it's like, oh, this is good. So anyway, so I was just like, I told my mom, I was like, I hope they leave some potatoes in there.
Yeah.
She was like, well,
yeah. Like 2 or 3.
Because I need some potatoes. And they left like over like 5,000 potatoes in there. I swear, my mom was like, yo, you can't eat those potatoes. You can't feed those to the kids. I'm like, hell, I went in there and got a fork and put them all in the bag. I don't care. And that's the potatoes we ate tonight for dinner with our steak.
That's great, yeah. They're not, whatever, they're missing a few potatoes, whatever, you know. It's
right.
It's like maybe they just fell off.
They have their shot.
Yeah, they have a ton.
Well, no, right. I was delivering for Frito-Lay, so they're just going to make chips and grease them down. So, I did the world a favor.
You're actually making them into a better version. Like a...
Like, no, I just made them mashed potatoes.
Those are good.
So, no, it's true, though. Like, so I've been everywhere. I go up now. One of my main routes is up through California, Oregon, driving up the 5, you know,
mm-hmm.
and I come down through Idaho and Nevada to come back home. and I go pick up apples, and I usually deliver produce when I go there, and then I go pick up apples, especially right now, it's apple season. So I go pick up apples and then come back.
Were you just up there recently? Like every week you're in a new place?
Well, no, every week I'm in Washington, Oregon, or what? I'm sorry, I just got a text. So I'm just like,
she got a text and just staring at me because she drives so much. Just like,
exactly.
they're all blurred.
So no, Washington, it's Washington, Oregon, or I go to Texas. And I ask them to send me to Texas a lot because it's the easy route to drive, and it's just, it's nothing for me. I'm just like, oh, I'd rather go to Texas than anything because it's a straight shot.
Yeah.
So
it's like flat. It gets flatter.
Right, and it's just like, well, no, it's not all flat.
Yeah.
That's the misconception, because there are lots of hills, but there's no mountains.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you're not like, oh, baby Jesus, please don't let this, you know, and no. You get scared when you, girl.
Driving through mountains?
I get, like, serious. Like, I have so much fear sometimes when I go I'm, like, leaving my house crying, like, I may not be back, children.
Aww.
Bye-bye. And they're like, "You please." It's just, I'm just like, oh God. But no, it's cool though. Like I enjoy my job, and I get paid enough to take care of my kids and not be on welfare. You know how people are trying to juggle welfare and work, and I'm just like, oh, thank God I made it.
Yeah.
I mean, barely, barely.
Yeah. I was just on like food stamps recently, and then I don't work enough to be on them again. Like, I guess, there's a requirement, in Arizona.
Well, I just think it's crazy because it's like the people who are really getting over on the system, they never give those people a hard time. Like, you talk to some lady, and like this one lady was arguing in the grocery store with the clerk because I guess her food stamp card wasn't working. Yeah. And I've been on food stamps before too, so I know the feeling. But her food stamp card wasn't working, and she was arguing. She's like, "There's $985 on here. What do you mean it's not working?" And I'm looking at her like, "What?"
Yeah.
How many kids are you claiming? Like, this is crazy.
Oh, you think she might be lying about it? She might be trying to pull one over on them or something. Maybe.
No.
Okay.
I mean, anybody that's going to voice to a cashier in front of like 20 people, I have $980 in food stamps. I believe that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
they checked it. They checked the balance.
She got pretty cocky. I was like, damn, let's just hold something,
Yeah.
She didn't have no kids with her either. I was like, where are the kids? I need proof of this.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't have any kids with her. I'm like, I'm sitting here with 9,000 kids, and you got 900.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I always worked, so they never gave me very much,
Oh, so were you working 80 hours and it wasn't very much?
Okay. Because only reason I got on them is because through DCS, they were like, oh, go get on food stamps and they'll help you with food. They didn't tell me there was like a money stipulation, like, oh, you can only make so much money to actually get them. Okay. So I was just like, like the lady was like, yeah, if you make anything over $1,500, you don't get to get them anymore. And I was like, $1,500 isn't even enough to pay like household bills. How are you? Who makes these rules?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
So it was crazy, but enough of the food stamp story.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's cool. Like, and no shade to anybody who has to get them. I get it. You got to do what you got to do for your children. But for the people who are just like abusing the system, that is irritating. That is just irritating. I'm just like, damn, can I get some? They're like, and then like you gotta always talk to a toothless person when you go and try to get some. Like, it's just like, can my food stamp life not be controlled by somebody without teeth? Like, it ain't
without
fair.
Insurance. Yeah, because I don't have it. I don't know. Anyways, it's like no one has insurance. Maybe they have insurance because they work for.
Right, I don't know, but she wasn't very nice.
Oh, they seem kind of moody. Yeah.
Well, she basically told me you need to be poorer for me to approve. Like, and then she looked me up and down because I always kind of dressed decent, you know.
Yeah,
She
you dress
looked
nice.
me up and down. She had made a decision before I even spoke. Like, you know, I'm just like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do? Take a tooth out before I freaking walk in here? What?
Yeah.
She was not nice about it, and I didn't understand it, but okay, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know like the rules. Like I just know I didn't like do enough to get food stamps or something. I don't know. So
Oh, you were
like
lazy.
yeah, I'm too lazy. Yeah. um, like I'm not working for Lyft enough, you know. Not driving locally enough, not nationally, you know.
Oh my goodness, you're a mess. But it's supposed to be supplemental income, and I think that's
Yeah.
where people just like they confuse it, and it doesn't really. By the time you pay for the gas and all of that, you really are just living on a wing and a prayer.
You're living on like $3 an hour in the end. Yeah,
Right,
I gotta write. You write off everything. I gotta write. Do you write off your miles and stuff from truck driving? I know it's not your truck probably, but unless it is, I don't know.
Well, I could have gotten my own truck. I chose not to because I saw that it was with me being a parent now. I can't drive nearly enough to drive enough miles to pay for the truck and pay for my house.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't work nearly as much as other truck drivers. I'll go out for 7 days, but I'll come home for 5. No other truck driver does that. They go out for 7, they come back for 2.
Okay.
So.
We can talk about. Do you have any like news story you want to talk about? Anything in the news that you happen to see?
Oh my goodness, the Kanye stuff is crazy with the Donald Trump. That stuff is crazy. It's so much. I haven't watched any TV in a minute, so I'm just like, what's going on in the news? And the whole feuding with the Cat Williams and the Kevin Hart thing, that was interesting.
Has that always been, and it's reignited right now? Is it in the news right now?
No, I don't think it was. Cat Williams had said some stuff at a radio interview he was at, and he just kind of threw Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart on the bus, saying some pretty outlandish stuff, and I'm just like, well, I wasn't a Kevin Hart fan initially when I first saw him. I don't remember when he first came on the scene, but when I first saw him, I wasn't a fan of his. But over the years, I've learned to respect him for how dedicated he is to his craft. And I'm like, it's undeniable. You can't just say somebody, you're not good enough because you're making all this money now and it's making us look like you can't be mad at somebody for actually doing what we all set out to do in the first place, you know? Like, how dare you succeed at something that I've been trying to succeed? Like, come on. We're not crabs in a barrel here. So I feel like if one comedian make it, we all have a shot. You know what I mean? So I didn't understand it. But I love Tiffany Haddish's response. I was really happy to see that she didn't take the low road. She took the high road and she kept it classy, which is always desirable in a female, because you don't want to see anybody being catty, and for what reason?
It doesn't really, in the end, it doesn't really get you anywhere. I mean, just entertainment, and that's it.
Well, and then you just look at these people differently. You don't want bad press, you know what I mean? So
I remember Cat Williams saying that she was not a touring comic, right? She's never gone on a tour. Is that what he said about her?
He said something more along the lines of she's not funny. The role that she played in Girls Trip, anybody could have played it. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Lots of people could have played it, but they didn't, and she did a good job. So why are we mad at her again? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why are we upset about this? Because she did an excellent job. From the time she stepped on the friggin' scene to the time she went I thought she was hilarious. Every scene of hers was funny. So I'm like, well, how y'all mad at that? Like, she did a good job. And I was like, who? And I had never seen her in any stand-up. I had never seen her before ever. And I was just like, bruh, who's this lady? And my mom, and like, she watches the news. Of course I don't. But she watches. She's like, that's the girl I was telling you about. She's on Oprah, you know. Like, I'm just like, shut up, you know. She did a good job, and I'm just like, why are we mad at her then? You know, like she's a comedian who basically got a platform to show how funny she could be, and she pulled it off. And why are we mad? So I didn't like that he kind of attacked her because she didn't deserve it.
I feel like she always has a good attitude from what I see on her Instagram and see videos of. She always has like a good attitude, like just better than me. Like I'd want to have her, you know, just optimistic attitude, I guess. I feel like she comes across that way. I like it.
You know, just to kind of be like, I'm not falling into that trap.
Yeah.
And I would have definitely fell for the trap because I'm just like mean-natured sometimes. I'm just like, let's fight. And, you know, let's just have an old country brawl right now because I don't want you to be mean to me and you being mean to me. And, like,
yeah.
He was being mean to her. And I was just like, why is he being mean to her? It was no reason for him to say anything rude about her because she hadn't done anything wrong. So I was just like, okay.
It's just to trap her, probably. Get her, yeah, I don't know. Just because they're jealous of her success, I guess.
But to be jealous, Cat Williams has been on the scene for, 20 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Cat Williams, and every Friday that he played, he was one of my favorite comedians when I first started going to comedy shows. Before I ever thought about doing comedy, he was one of the ones I was like, I want to see him in a show. You know, I want to see his. I'm not big on going to, like, I'm not one of those people like, oh, I'm a showgoer, just be saying I went to a show. No, if I think you're funny, I definitely want to be there. I went to a Mike Epps show. Thought he was hilarious. I wanted to go to a George Lopez, a D.L. Hughley show, you know, a Dave Chappelle show. I just think these people are funny. And so when I saw him, I thought the same, like, dude, I want to see this dude. And then when, you know, stuff started kind of unraveling for him, I was just like, that's unfortunate, but I was still on his team. But when, you know, I started hearing him sometime badmouth people, I was just like, why are you being mean? Like, you know, he was basically saying, like, oh, Lunel and some more and some other, not some more, but Leslie, what's it? The Leslie chick, the one who played on Ghostbusters. I think she's a good comedian.
Oh, yeah, Leslie, Les Dog on Instagram.
Les Dog, yeah.
Sorry, that's not like her real name.
Her name is Les Dog. Yeah, is Les Dog here? Can we get a Les Dog? No. I always thought she was funny, but I hadn't seen her until Ghostbusters. So, I mean, these people he mentioned, I just didn't understand why he was, felt like he was just attacking them because all these people he mentioned were in the limelight.
Leslie Jones, that's right.
Leslie Jones, yeah.
I like her.
I never saw her. I thought she was funny when I first saw her. I was just like, oh my goodness. And my girls left the movie, you know, doing all her lines, you know, and I'm just like, hey, you know, she does a good job. So, and then with the Kanye situation, I'm just like, God bless the baby. I wish somebody could just raise his mother up from the dead, and so she could just say, shame on you, boy. Sit down.
The anniversary of her death is coming up, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't follow, but
I just read that. I just read it like in the comments. I read a lot of stuff. You know who's supporting him sort of is T.I. T.I. I don't know if he's supporting him per se, but he did say the 13th Amendment is like Kanye was right about the 13th Amendment being like slavery through prison.
Well, that's true, but the thing is, it just trips me out that he badmouthed Obama for so many years, and then like Trump gets in office, and he's just like,
yeah, Superman.
He's just all like bootlicking. And I'm just like, well, what
Like sucking
was
up,
your
right? Yeah.
like, what was your positivity when Obama was in office? And he was like a peaceful person. And this person comes and he's raising all kind of hell, and you're just like, you're bootlicking. I'm just like, okay, are you trying to be groomed for presidency or vice president? What are you doing?
I feel like
what
maybe
really
he's trying to set himself up for 2020. I don't know, but what was he run as?
Like, I mean, hey, if Trump can be president and, you know, he has a reality show, you never know. These days, you just gotta kind of live by your own rules, because, look, the rule makers are, like, on acid.
Yeah.
Okay? Like,
yeah. What's going on? I feel so weird.
Right. They're unstable. You know, remember, like, when we were younger and you heard stuff about Bill Clinton and you were just like, oh no, and that was like the only thing you ever heard.
Yeah, now it's you hear everything.
Yeah, well, especially if you got a president who won't stay off Twitter, girl. And so it's just like, okay, Trump, we don't all have to agree with you, but by God, just, you know, be discreet. My biggest issue with him is indiscretion. Like, he's just not discreet. He just blabs off anything, anywhere.
He's got his own mental illness, so, like, they're connecting, you know, they're just locking in on each other.
And I'm just like, Trump, I wish his grandmother was alive to say, boy, sit your ass down, sit the hell down, damn it. You know, come sit by grandma. Like, you know how grandmothers, come sit by grandma.
Yeah.
Now pass me my
you sound like my Nana. You sound like my Nana, actually. She's dead.
Yeah, like, sometimes you just need one of them old ass people. Come sit your ass down. Shut up. My aunt is 20 years older than my mom, so she kind of played a role kind of like my grandma. And I was just talking so much one day, and she just told me one day, sit your narrow ass down. That's when my ass was narrow. Sit your narrow ass down.
Are your relatives from Ohio?
Girl, no.
Because that's exactly what my grandma would say. Or, like, even but anyone remotely, like, my, you know, from that side of the family, like my mom's side of the family. They just talk like that. Like, that's how they smoked, you know, like 12 packs a day and all day.
It's just, girl, remember you go in people's house, their curtains smell like ashes? You know,
yeah.
Like, well, this place smells like cancer. Lovely.
Like, if I sit down, I get butt cancer. You know, I gotta be careful.
Right. If you pet the cat, you get fingertip kitty cancer. It's just too much. Like, it's just too much. The cat's coughing. He's got a trach situation going on. Like, everybody's got oxygen plugged in.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like a hole in their throat. And I mean, not yet.
And then they still smoking though. That's the thing.
Yeah, like I'm gonna die anyway. I'm not giving this up.
I'm not a quitter. Like, yeah, you finna quit regardless of what you want to or not. You finna quit because you about to die. So, but no, as far as that, I'm really, Serena Williams did something recently that I was really proud of. She, the girl who won the match, you know, she was really kind to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really ladylike. I watched, like, celebrities' actions, you know, like.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, like, I watch their patterns, like, how they are with other people. What makes them kind of just human, you know what I mean? Like, if they're just like this robot machine celebrity, you know, those
like Britney Spears, Britney Spears, like
right, like I what is up with her? Where's she at?
I think she probably does a Las Vegas show. I really don't know. I just know I felt like she was definitely like a robotic person trying to impress her people who controlled her, you know, the label or whatever, you know, back in the day especially, and then she went crazy. Understandably. Well,
you know, they say a lot of people went crazy. They also said Dave Chappelle went crazy. And I listened to I watched one of his stand-ups after he came back. And he basically was like, no, he didn't like how he was being handled.
Okay.
And he didn't like what he was being used for. Like, he of course was being allowed. People think, oh, you know, as long as you're allowed to use your gift and, make money, you should be okay. And I feel like that's not it for anybody with any kind of substance, you know, that's not it. Like, you want to be able to, at the end of the day, feel like you actually impacted someone.
Yeah.
You know, like, we use our comedy or whatever, but you don't want to just be just frivolous in
yeah.
how you're allowing people to portray your gift. And I think he felt like he was just being a little frivolous, and so he took his back seat. And when he came back, and all the stand-ups I've seen of him since he's been back are like meaningful. Even Chris Rock's most recent stand-up is like, it's more meaningful. Like he got real. And I think that's what people need. It's just, let's be real, because I mean, let's be honest. You know, seeing the stuff that happened with Bill Cosby, and we believed all the Bill Cosby hype for years. You know, and I think people are just now starting to get like, if I am going to sustain in this business, I have to be who I am for real. You know?
Yeah.
Because what I see people do is they'll come out and they're themselves for the first, you know, couple of albums, or say if they're artists, a couple of albums, and then they just turn into this other person, and they don't like themselves anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, if you keep creating a different individual from what you are to try to live in this limelight and stay in this limelight, it's gonna eventually come back to haunt you, you know. And then that's when he went crazy, she went crazy, that one's because you're not being yourself. I can't imagine not being Tara every day. Like, I talk to my boss the same way as I talk to my mom, you know what I mean? Like, I respect him, but I'm like also really honest, you know?
Yeah.
And my children, I'm really brutally honest with them, you know? I'm like, if you don't wipe your butt right, you're going to get the crotch rot. You don't want the crotch, you know? Like, I'm just honest.
Yeah.
I'm just honest. Like, and I just think that people are so sugar-coated these days. And it's just, it's ridiculous. It's old. And I'm just like, just be yourself. Be yourself. And somebody told me, oh, you know, Tara, you know, you'd probably be more received in comedy if you lost this amount of weight. And I was just like, listen, if I can't be fat and funny, I don't want to be funny at all. I love being chubby, okay? I ain't never down those skinny people for being skinny. I'm just like, stop going and get chubby parts. If you want to be a thin person, be a thin person. But you see all these thin people now, and they're walking around with these booties that look like diesel tires on the back of them.
Where'd they get that from? You know?
Right, that's new. Okay, I see Christmas was good to you. You know, like, what the hell?
It's not proportionate, right? Not proportionate at all.
Oh no, it's like, if you got it. Well, anybody who's got a big butt, you see your legs, you got a little bum on you, and you know, you got some big legs and some thighs, and it's not just these two little bean poles
like this, like a goalpost, and then it's like it's like Kim Kardashian. That's not real. I mean, she's got like thicker legs slightly, but does she have a?
No, not enough, because you can tell it's not real, because
it is weirdly disproportionate. It's kind of like it's like me having like cancer on my forehead, you know. It's like
I feel bad for you know, whose body I really like out of all those sisters is not Kylie, Kendall.
I like Kendall.
And Kendall and the dog. Everybody else.
I like their chandelier. Their chandelier has good proportions. Yeah.
Right. And Kendall and Northwest. They're the most realist Kardashian. You know, like, it's sad, but that's so true. Like, these people.
The other ones have work done, I guess. I don't know. The other ones have work done, I guess. So it's like, I don't know.
Well, what's funny is, like, then what are you doing? You know, like, they were saying, oh, Chloe had her nose done, and she had her chin, her jawline shaved. And they said, man.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, Lord, Chloe just had a baby with a basketball player. And the baby came out beautiful. But I'm curious to see how she looks in 10 years, because I'm just like, are you going to get the baby's chin chiseled off too, and the nose.
So it matches. Oh.
Like, are we gonna have to surgery the baby? Because if you keep doing the surgery stuff and then you have a baby, your baby comes out, you look nothing like your baby.
Yeah. And
then your baby starts looking like your high school pictures and wondering why he don't look like you or she doesn't look like you. It's like it's.
Yeah.
But, so what do you think about this Me Too movement?
I think I like it, but yet I feel like, we can't really just say anything. It's hard. Like, we're being more conscious as a society about how we're impacting people, which is good, but also it's like you can be yourself more, but you also have to be careful what you say. Like, even women, I think, have to be careful of what they say.
Right.
People aren't able to take jokes as much, I don't think.
I know, like, feeling. Every time I watch, I watched one of Dave Chappelle's shows recently, and he's like, he said, I came back, and everybody is just, punk ass bitches,
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody is just, and everybody's so offended, and I can't,
They're critiquing, a lot of people are critiquing more. They're critiquing, like, I've been told to take, like, posts down, and they're not that offensive, so I don't know. Like, I don't think, like, I had a post about a wizard. Like, a friend dressed up as a wizard last year during an open mic, one of my male friends, for Halloween, like around in October. And he came to the open mic, and I got bumped down the list, and I made a joke about it. A Me Too joke. It's non-sexual, but I was like, hey, I was bumped for a male wizard. This is like my fourth or third Me Too story. And, like, that made like a really super left-wing feminist mad. Like, the super feminist person mad. So, like, take it down. I'm like, no.
And it's hard to talk to those people because, like, I still think, like, women, I don't know, I'm from the country, so I still think, like, it's cool for women to cook for their husbands and take care of their homes because I like to do it. It's not something that I just feel like you have to do. I like to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And but I also am like the guy who goes out and makes the money. So, but when you talk to these people, they're just like, oh my God, so you want to be just this housewife? And I said, I'm not just saying I want to be a housewife, but I like the comfort of, serving a meal to my guy or, like being,
You feel like in control, right? It helps you feel in control of that sphere of your life,
right?
Sort of. Yeah.
It's not just the control.
Contributing.
It's just like it's giving love. Like I just feel like people are so shallow and like they have no idea what real love looks like, so they think they're being compartmentalized. And I'm like, nobody's trying to compartmentalize you. Like you can be whatever you want to be, whatever works for you and yours. But if you're dating me, I'm gonna enjoy, catering. Sometimes. This isn't all the time, of course, because we're real people and we have real lives, but like, what's wrong with that? Why are we talking bad about women who actually like to cook for their guy? Like, why are you making these people feel bad? Like, they're like something's wrong with them.
Yeah.
And then like with the LGBTQ movement, I feel like you almost like have to stand up for yourself if you're straight now. Like it's reversed.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, people are like, well, do you date women? No. I'm like, no. Have you ever, I get all the questions. Have you ever dated a woman? No. Have you ever kissed a woman? No. How do you know you're not? No.
No, yeah. If you have no interest to be, I mean, I get it. I get what they're saying, but I have no interest in doing that. So, I mean,
but it just bothers me because I'm just like, can we march and be straight? Like, can we have our straight? Because why do we have to? I shouldn't be questioned as to why I've just chosen not to. Like, I just feel like it's gotten to that level now.
Like if you don't want to experiment, don't. Yeah, we're not all experimental. Like, Well,
no, even if you feel like you were born that way, everything. I'm not here arguing with you.
Yeah.
I just don't want you to argue with me on why I'm straight.
Okay. Yeah. So the reverse. Yeah. Okay. Like, why are you straight?
Like,
yeah.
That's not fair. So. I just feel like people need to be more tolerant of other people and just mindful. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. It's simple. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You got a text. She's swiping at the screen.
It's like, what is this? Like, I just keep getting on. So. But no, I really love that, people are standing up against the police brutality situation. I'm so proud of like Colin Kaepernick. Those are some things that jump out at me whenever I'm on social media or listening to any news, and like I get both sides. Like, oh, he's kneeling during the national anthem, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, well, people are kneeling during police shootings. Nobody's standing up for that, so we're gonna kneel. Until you guys make a difference, and it's fair. It's like, come on, like nobody got shot and he kneeled, and people kneel and somebody's like getting, matter of fact, videoing, to say the least. You know what I mean? Like people do this kind of stuff all the time. So it's like, and then people go on and say, oh, well, what about black on black crime? More black people kill other black people, and it's like, that's any race. That's white people killing white people. You kill who you're around. Like the killers usually kill who they're around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like you can't, so I mean, and I don't think anybody in authority should take advantage of it. Raising kids, you're always in authority. I can't take my kids around and just be like, hey, slaves, I'm feeding you, so, you have to do whatever I say. Go paint the ceiling, no, like definitely take care of the people that you're in authority over, And I'm just really glad that somebody's standing up and saying, hey, that's not cool. Stop shooting niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm cool with that, because and then it was in Michigan. This young boy, I watched this video. It was like a couple years ago. This young boy, he was a white kid. He was coming back from his girlfriend's house or whatever, and this cop had these unusually bright lights on, and he didn't know it was a cop, but he flashed his lights at the cop to tell the cop, hey, you're blinding me, basically.
Yeah.
And I guess the cop was facing, it was facing him. So he pulled him over, and the cop's like, well, why are you flashing your lights at a cop, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, your lights were blinding me or whatever. And the kid, I don't know how it got, I didn't see like all of it, but the kid ended up dead.
Oh my God.
This is crazy. Like, and I'm just like, it's not just black kids. It's anybody who has balls enough to say, hey, this isn't fair. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is what I was doing, and I'm honestly telling you what I was doing. Yeah.
Right. And he's like, you were blinding me, and it was snowing outside.
And he's like, no.
So it's like, right. And the cop is like, no, I'm basically telling him I'm a cop, But one video stuck out to me. It was super funny. This guy was in the airport, and he was doing something wrong. I don't know why he was being arrested, but they basically tackled him and took him to the ground. He was a white man. And he said, oh my God, I'm not a black man. Stop this.
Oh no. And they're like, you're not? Well, okay.
Well, my bad.
My bad.
Well, take that hat off. Take that hoodie off. Then we'd have known something.
Yeah.
Like, what did he expect him to say after that? Well, you shouldn't have been having a hoodie and Skittles in your hand. Like, what did he expect him to say? Like, seriously? Like, it was just crazy. And they were just dragging him off. And he was like, I'm not a black man.
Oh.
And he was obviously not a black man, but it was just crazy.
That he yelled it out. Like, yeah. He's like, where's my privilege?
Right. It's crazy, man. Like, that's how you know that it exists for somebody to be yelling this out as they're being arrested.
It's a thing, yeah.
I'm just like, that's funny.
Well, like the person you mentioned earlier with the headlights, he had no gun, right? Like nothing. He wasn't like reaching for anything.
No, he didn't. No, he was like a 17-year-old boy.
Jeez.
He was a kid. He was definitely just a kid. So I was just like, my heart goes out to his family. Because I'm just like, dude, this is somebody's kid. Like, I have a kid that's 17. And if somebody came home like and was like, yo, your baby was shot because, she flashed her lights at a cop.
And he felt offended and threatened.
And and it was basically, you're telling me my kid got shot because of a misunderstanding?
Yeah, that's what it seems to be.
Like,
yeah.
Like, it seems to be just a whole lot of misunderstandings happening.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, who are these cops that are shooting kids? Like, a lot of these people are kids. Like, if you don't have patience for kids, you shouldn't be a cop whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, come on, these are
They're
teenagers.
scared
Like,
too.
they talk a lot of shit, but they're the least threatening people. Like, I'm more scared of my 6-year-old than my 17-year-old. Because my 6-year-old hasn't experienced anything that's scared her enough to be like, yo, I can get in trouble. So she just doesn't give a damn. She's just like, I'll cut you. But my 17-year-old is like, I'm scared of everything. I don't want to harm anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get on your bad side. And my 6-year-old is like, F your bad side. I don't care. You know?
Well, some of these cops, the ones who shoot whoever, like white, black, whoever, they have one of them in Mesa, Arizona. At like he shot like a white guy who was like staying in a hotel. I think he like sprays for bugs, so he had like some sort of spray gun thing in his hotel.
Yeah.
Just like a few months ago, maybe even a year ago. They may have just prosecuted the guy who shot him, but like I think on the cop's gun it had like some sort of kill message on his gun, like tattooed on his gun. And I'm like, okay, so he was just like dead set on kill. I feel like that means like he's gonna kill somebody. Like maybe people become cops to kill people because they can't. It's like to live out some fantasy of control.
Yeah, I think so. I'm like, did you just play a lot of video games and now you want the right to shoot someone?
Yeah,
You
like
know,
you're strong
like,
enough.
did you just get?
You can do all the push-ups or whatever. I don't know if you can climb the wall. I don't know, like.
It's just weird. I just feel like if you're gonna be in power, don't abuse it. I mean, and then who are we gonna call? Who else are we gonna call? Like, okay, call 911. I'd rather call 411. At least I know I won't be shot. You know, like no.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, that's one of the big things that jumps out at me. I really miss the Golden Girls. I wish they'd come back, but I know most of them are gone.
I really loved, gosh, who's the really sassy one? She's older. Not freaking forgot her name. She was like super tall. Anyways. Dorothy. I liked her the best.
You like Dorothy?
I mean, she reminds me of my grandma a little bit, sort of, but more like a little bit like my grandma wasn't that tall. Like she walked like she didn't drive and she walked like 10 miles a day and she was super super tan, Irish lady, like just gangster Irish lady, you know, like she would like pull people out of their house if they didn't pay their rent at the trailer park, you know. Like she was if I got water in my eye while she was bathing me, she's like, oh shut up, you know, like if I got water in my eye and then there was soap in the water, I swear I got water in my eye and it wouldn't burn, and she's like, you're such a pussy, you know, like she didn't say pussy, but she said like, she's like, quit quit whining, it's just water, like she toughens you up.
Girl, no, my mother, I didn't have my mother's mother wasn't alive when I was growing up, but I had a lot of friends with grandmothers, and I just thought it was so crazy how nice they were. Like how being raised by a grandparent is so different from being raised by a parent. Like my friends who was raised by like their grandparents, I was just like, you are the luckiest people alive. My mom had no tolerance. Like, I don't have any tolerance for my kids. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, are you dead? Oh, you're bleeding. Okay, is it bleeding dead, or are you just like kind of just a little leak? You know, like I'm just like no tolerance.
Yeah.
And like people who were raised with they're so sweet and sensitive, and they have all this patience because you know old people move really slow.
They got little tiny candies a lot.
Yeah, like it's just like they always have the candies and
little Werther's Originals.
Right, it's like this one lady, she was raised by her grandmother. She like has this little baggie of Halls and Jolly Ranchers. I'm like, you always have hard candy. Why would you
Makes sense.
Like, right. It's so weird. And like, oh my goodness. So, but no, these days, grandmothers are super young though. Like,
yeah.
I don't trust the new ones.
The new ones.
Right, because I'm, like, girls my age are grandmothers. I don't know, how old are you, April?
I'm 33, no kids, and I'm scared. Like, I have a niece and nephew, so that's kind of kids enough for me for right now. I'm not with
Right.
anyone, so
Yeah.
it's like.
Well, there are people our age that are grandmothers.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. And I'm just like, wait, so the new age grandmothers are getting younger, dude? Like, remember people's grandmothers would be in their 60s?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And like now, like my friends who have kids and then their kids have oh yeah. My friend's a grandmother and she's 45. I'm like, you're 45 though. Like,
yeah.
Do you even qualify for AARP yet? Like, why?
Like, does the system think you're a grandma?
Right. I'm just like, can you go on Tuesdays and get the little discounts everywhere? Like, you know, I feel like that's not.
It's weird. It's weird. Yeah. It's
no,
like retirement age has to lower itself, you know?
I don't know. I just think everybody's having a lot of sex and not a lot of love. Like,
I agree.
There's a lot of sex going on and no love happening.
Or a lot of just independence. Like, I lived alone, you know, for so many years. I like being alone. I don't know about you, but you have kids. But, like, I like being alone. I don't know if that's, like, weird. But...
No, it's not weird. I was alone before I got kids. Well, you know the story with my kids, right?
No, I don't.
Right. They're all my nieces.
Oh, I do. Yeah, okay, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't give birth to any of them, and I just got them in 2016. So
right.
DCS just gave them to me, and then it went from a case to full-blown adoption. So yes, I spent lots of years alone before they came. So I'm so happy to just sit here and be talking to an adult right now.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to do it in my car because this is the only place where the kids are not, you know.
Yeah, we're not going to be loud or question you right now during the podcast.
Well, no, if I was in the house, you'd have like 9 different heads.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
What's your name?
Yeah.
No, she's here to talk to me. No, but I want to know her name. What's your name? Get out. No, don't shush me. You know,
it's April.
Like, like they're honoring. So but no. So being alone was cool. I was raised. I have 7 brothers and sisters. So
whoa.
When I got a big country ass family.
Yeah.
But like when I was cooking for myself when I was single, that was the toughest thing in the world. When I was cooking for myself, I like always made too much. So I started meal prepping is what I started doing. And because I always made too much food anyway. Mm-hmm. So I just started meal prepping. Then I did it so much that I can't stand leftovers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I can't stand a TV dinner, any leftovers. Like I love fresh food.
Fresh food is good, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it, you know. But yeah, people are really like more geared towards sex than love. Like I have a really close friend of mine, and it you can tell it's bad because like my kid was like, "Oh, you and your friend seem like you guys were a couple." I'm like, "Wait, what?" You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you say that? Oh, because, you know, you're just so nice to each other. I'm like, that's what friends are.
Yeah.
But apparently, these new age friends like just have sex with each other.
You two right? doing it. I just put my finger in my hole in my hand. Like, what's that called? You don't want to see this.
Right, like it seems like that's all people do as friends now, and I don't get that. I'm just like, why do you have to have sex with your friends? And like, I talk to my kids about this because apparently it's to be expected. Like, oh yeah, she's a friend. Yeah. And it's like, oh okay.
Oh well.
And it's like,
geez, that's.
Like, I asked this guy. I said, have you had sex with all your friends? And he's like, yeah, most of my girlfriends, and it's like
Wait, girlfriends or like unofficial girlfriends?
No, his female friends.
Oh, girl space friends. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's not fun.
Yeah, it's like
because
I don't want to see.
You really need like a friend to just talk to and be vulnerable with,
and not like you've seen me.
You have a phone full of people that you've had sex with without emotion, and when you show them emotion, you're gonna freak them out. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, why are you crying on the phone? Calm down, get your shit together. Like nobody's ready for it. So it's like you need to learn how to be vulnerable with somebody without having sex with them.
Yeah, I think that would bond people better. If eventually, I mean, if it goes there eventually, like if you like the person, but usually it doesn't for me. Like just once every 7 years, maybe it does. But I don't date my friends. Like I end up meeting a guy that like I have a lot in common with, and he's my boyfriend for like a few months, and then nothing. But
what kind of guys do you like? What is your type?
My type is like dark hair, like what he looks like.
Yeah, well, no, what he is like. I mean, I think we're too old to be like worried about what somebody looks like.
I would say somebody who's like dorky, slightly nerdy. I like it when they know stuff I don't know about, like I don't really know a lot about comic books. I know some characters from. I don't mind a comic book guy. He doesn't have to mow the lawn, but it'd be cool if he like just knew how to fix something. I just whatever he's like passionate about, I just love that. Like if they're like funny, that's basically it. Like if he's responsible and kind of nerdy and is passionate about something, and he's not like relying on me to entertain him.
Yeah, that's a relief too. Like I think because when guys hear like, oh, she's a comedian and blah blah blah. And before I was ever a comedian, I was always a goofy, funny. Like I've always been brutally honest. Mm-hmm. So that's funny to people because everybody lies to you your whole life. So you get around me and you're like, oh my God, she's hilarious, and she's just telling the truth. Yeah. Like so. I mean, I get that. Like, but it's hard because. I like a sturdy guy. I like a guy to be a man. Like I don't like the boy types. And I think so many men are trying to look like boys and pretend to be young boys that they're not attractive to me.
Okay, a lot of people are staying into the boy man phase for a lot longer. Like I don't mind them playing video games or anything, but like I feel like they stay into their 50s. They stay the boy man,
Well, it's one thing. Like, I'm not mad about video games. I'm not mad about you hanging with friends, and you guys have this weird. I saw that movie Tag, and it's like they had their little thing, but it's just like they also had real lives that they attended to. Like, if you have something you're passionate about and it's just fun to you, and it's your release, do it. But if this just like consumes your life and it causes you not to grow.
Yeah, that's important.
I don't want to be no parts of it. And then I think drugs have a huge impact on that in these guys these days because I'm seeing so many people not want to grow up because they're inebriated or high.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And so I just like I can't with that either. I'm just like I don't want to be the only sober person in our relationship.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, you're not sure if they're even. I mean, I've been high like several times, but like I don't want to make it a career. I don't have a card or anything.
It is.
You don't get a lot done.
Become a career for so many, and now it's like a competition. You know what I mean? Like
who's hired during their comedy set?
Oh my God, girl! I can't even talk about it. It's just so much. Like I see people get up there and they just like one guy hit the microphone. Hit his head with the microphone.
Oh, jeez.
Get it together, and I was just like, "Oh,
what? Oh, it's this kind of set. Okay." What's going? You're battling yourself like live. It's like
I'm like, okay, a little self-loathing
a little American Gladiator on your head, right, with the microphone, like
right. I just knew it was gonna be a dark set.
You know really? I mean? Like,
yeah. We're gonna find out some stuff that we really were never supposed to know.
I always thought if someone was high, I wasn't talking to the real person. So I was like, but like I've smoked weed and I was totally there the whole time listening to somebody, so like I know they are, but I feel like when I talk to someone who's like high on something, I'm like, are they all there? Do they know they're talking to me at all? That's what I worry about.
Well, I just feel like you can't really have any concrete conversation. I would definitely say don't try, because if you try, it's gonna irritate you. Like, because
Yeah.
once you go back and you wanna, like say you tell someone your birthday and they're just stoned out of their mind or whatever on whatever narcotic they enjoy, and your birthday's the next day and they made you all these promises, but they were high.
They're like, I don't remember. Sorry, I woke up late.
Oh my God! I want you to dress up really nice, and I'm going to take you to this restaurant, and I think you just love this restaurant, blah blah blah. And it's like you dress up really nice, and you're like, hey, I'm ready, and they're like, what? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm gonna play this video game for like 7 hours. So see you when you're wherever you're going. Have fun. Like, okay, it's my birthday.
And you're like, wait, did I get stood up without somebody even knowing they were standing me up? Like, I don't know what's worse, getting stood up or getting stood up by somebody who didn't even know that they made a promise or a commitment to begin with.
Yeah,
like,
that's not good. Yeah.
So like, yeah, I can't do the whole. I'm not a person that I don't condone.
Tolerating that, yeah.
I can't. I'm just like, you know, like there's so many other things you can do to your brain besides chip away at it.
Like, I already have enough. Like, I don't know if you were depressed, but I'm doing therapy for depression and stuff right now because I can kind of afford it. Like, online, I'm doing this online one, and yeah, it's like I'm trying to get better. So. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know what I was talking about just now. I was like looking at something on my screen.
No, I know the average person has enough anxiety going on. You don't need somebody
more chipping away. Yeah, you don't need more of your brain chipped away.
And trust me, I mean, raising 4 kids, I don't know how I'm not in therapy. Like I know how I'm not because first of all, it takes time, and that I don't have. Secondly, it takes money, and the kids took all my money. So, I mean...
You're making me scared of kids. I know, but you're like, you can handle it. I don't know if I could handle what you're doing, Tara.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if I can handle it.
I know,
I just get up every day, like kind of like hoping that I can handle it. Like, yeah, and then I check in their room. I'm like, shit, they're alive too.
Yeah, that's a great joke. Like, why are they not gone? We had our fun, you know?
Huh?
Like, we had our fun. Why are they still here?
Well, no, like, that's funny. I tell a joke on stage about this. Like, they always ask me, can they have company? I'm like, you are company. You know, like, you just never left. And like now when they have company, it's just never enough. It's like, can they stay the night? And I'm like, tomorrow's Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can take them to school. They go to school right by our school.
Okay.
So you can take them to I'm like, so you're going to give me more responsibility so that you can have one more hour of fun with this other individual that I have to feed?
Yeah.
I think my therapy now is like music. I've always been a music head, and I've always, like, it's been my outlet for years. I mean, you know.
Do you play or sing?
I sing.
Okay.
Cool. My whole family sings. My kiddos, they sing. Everybody sings. So
that's great.
But I like to. Huh?
That's great because my voice is kind of crap, so I'm just really impressed.
Whatever. No, well, I mean, and therapy too for me. Like people don't realize. Like, they're like, oh, Terry, you always got like braids and stuff. And it's therapy for me to sit there and braid my hair. Mm-hmm. It's therapy for me to cook.
Yeah. It gets you to focus on something outside your brain too.
Right, like it's just like, and then like, and you create this beautiful meal or this nice hair, and it's just like, it just feels good. And you're just like, I'm looking good, and I got something good to eat, Aaron, you know. Mm-hmm. So
I used to clean my place. I used to just clean my place just for myself because when I lived alone, I cleaned my place just because I wanted to, and I'd make like.
Yeah, I have to clean when I'm like, what's funny is if you see me like cleaning for like just like scrubbing, like I'm pissed.
Okay, yeah, I did that. Yeah.
It's like, I am pissed. I kick the kids. The kids are standing outside of the house, and I'm just like running around with bleach spray on everything. Like, yeah, I have to clean it. But like, I'm pissed whenever I'm cleaning, like, real bad. But yeah, I mean, cleaning. My friend told me that's one of her therapies, and having good friends is huge. Like, to have a friend, of course, that you're not having sex with now, that you can have a conversation with about what's going on in your life, and they just listen. And, you know, even if they don't have any advice, just to listen, it's just therapeutic.
You know, I was like that with my mom. I was telling her some things, and she's like, April, get a fucking therapist eventually. She's like, April, you need a therapist. Like, I have some friends who listen, but I don't want to bombard them with stuff. So, you know, I would write stuff down, and I guess, and
I think that's what's sad, because like these days is like, you're always thinking you're inconveniencing people if you're not coming and you're happy and you're not happy. Like, it's like people are like, how dare you be having a bad day at my event, or how dare you be having a bad day at my expense? And I'm just like, can I just be a human for like a second?
Yeah.
And I even had to tell my kids, you know, I had to tell my 17-year-old, because she has anxiety and depression too. And I just tell her, I said, baby girl, you know, when it's a bad day, you need to say, hey, you know, it's not a good day. And I'll know exactly what you're talking about. You know, like, hey, you know, it's tough today. Something, just throw me a code out there, you know, hey, it's not a good day. And I'll do whatever I can to ease your pain and make your day better. But if I don't know that you're just having a shit day, I don't know. So I'm gonna treat you normal. And I'm pretty like structured in my home. So like, if I don't know you're like already kind of overwhelmed, it can be even more overwhelming, because we have like a structure to keep, because it's hard, even though we have like so many bathrooms and all these rooms, to get all these kids bathed and ready for the next day. It's just difficult sometimes. So we're always trying to keep to the structure. But if you need to sometimes say, hey, I need to check out for a minute, then you have to let us know. You have to let me know, because then I won't, you know, beat you down with the schedule of things that we have to do day to day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll let you just check out. You just check out, and then I'll handle all of this. And you just take care of yourself, and, you know, lay down, put some earphones in, listen to some music, something, you know? So,
that's good. That's really nice.
I don't think a lot of people talk to their kids enough to even know, like, how overwhelmed they get.
No. Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in a household where we were like mostly poor, so like it was like, girl, please, ain't you alive? Ain't you fed? Ain't you got a bed? Good, get out of my face, like, you know what I mean?
Head, yeah.
And so like, that's how we just dealt with stuff. But you know, sometimes these kids be out there with thin, so you gotta definitely put it out there that they can come to you.
That's great. Yeah. I wish my parents had done that when I was younger, actually.
Girl, me too.
Yeah. That's what you're saying. Yeah. I wish they had. They're more conscious of it now. Like, they support me now in comedy and stuff, so that's cool. It's, like, shocking. I'm like, you support what I'm doing? This is crazy. But, yeah, I feel like they expected a lot. But I wasn't, like, you know, some kids are, like, taking care of their own family at a young age, like, you know, like the parents check out completely and they have to, or something happens to the parents and the kid has to like raise the other kid. So I didn't have that, at least.
No. I mean, and you shouldn't live by an at least. I tell people that all the time. Don't live by an at least. You know, certain circumstances are just what they are.
Yeah.
But you don't have to like subject yourself to like living up to this person's, you know what I mean, expectations because they raised their brother and sister. Like, no, you know, let's be realistic. Most people don't, but some people do. They have to, but you shouldn't like beat yourself down for not having to have that hardship.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, don't feel bad about that.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
I had to
Thank
tell my
you.
friend, you know, sometimes I'm listening to her, she's listening to me, and she's like, I just feel like I'm just being a bitch when I complain to you about my stuff, because what you deal with is so much like bigger. And I'm just like, girl, God knows what everybody can handle, so don't sit there and beat yourself up for not being able to handle the kind of stuff that I can handle. Like, I'm good over here, like, and so like it always turns into, oh, I just feel so bad. And I'm like, don't feel bad.
Yeah.
it's cool. You're overwhelmed, and it makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like we can
Right.
handle what we're supposed to be able to handle. I think that's true. Um, yeah.
Well, I mean, some people are very timid and shy. I'm a very aggressive person, so it's like when you give me a problem, I'm just like, oh, we gotta tackle it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not like, oh my god, I shy away from or move back or
Like,
just
no,
I
thanks. I'm gonna go
don't
over
scare
here.
easy. I'm like, bring it on, bring some more. What do you got? Is that all you got? Throw a porcupine at me. I don't care.
Throw a Sonic the Hedgehog at you. I love that.
Right,
I love that guy. I love cartoons. I love
Shout
some
out
video
to
games.
Sonic if you're out there.
Oh, I wanted to go over this really quick. We're gonna end the podcast soon. It's been a great podcast getting to know, well, I kind of knew some things, but getting to know more about you. And I wanted to do like the celebrity dick of the week. I just pick a random person whose name is like kind of a dick name. It has like Richard or something in it. So I'm gonna describe him. I don't know if you'll get it. I mean, you might, because I don't think I would get this person, but I'm gonna describe him. I have facts. It is football season, so he's football related, and I wanted to be a sports announcer when I was younger, so I know about these people. But eventually, I didn't want to be one anymore. So now I don't know like who the heck is playing, on any team really. But he was born Michael Keller Dichko. His birthday is 4 days from now. He did coach the Chicago Bears for 11 years. Speaking of like Chicago and Kanye West, and Obama. And he coached the New Orleans Saints for 3 years. So there was a Sega game in the early 90s named after him. It was like quarterback attack with, his name, and then his name, Power Football. That was some games. I didn't hear about them. He is made. So do you know that sketch, the Bears sketch from Saturday Night Live? It's like 3 or 4 Chicago guys, and they're eating like greasy food, and they're just arrogant Chicago Bears fans, and they're like, the Bears, and they're like, one of them's having a heart attack like at the table as they're eating like chicken wings and stuff. Do you remember that sketch?
No.
Oh, it's funny. I think it was so they like worship this coach. His first name is Mike, and last name starts with a D. Let's see what else. I was trying to I might play a clip from him. Let me see really quick. I don't know if I don't again. I don't even know if I would get this if someone described it, sort of. But he did have a record over 14 seasons. He amassed a regular season record of 121 wins, 95 losses. And I'm sure everyone listening is yelling at the podcast right now. Their answer.
And I have no idea.
I'll just play a clip. I'll see if you get it. It's okay if you don't. It's kind of his last name does rhyme with Dick. It kind of rhymes with Dick. But I'm just going to see if I can get a video clip of him yelling, because he's a very yelly looking person. Very super conservative person, so I didn't really want to put him on the podcast initially. But, oh, fudge, I'm sorry. Let's see. Let's see if we can get him just yelling. Jeez, I wonder if he's even a clip.
You're gonna make me Google it now.
Oh, you can. That's fine. Let me see if I can get his voice here. Okay, TMZ.
Is it disrespectful to not stand for the national anthem on the day, on the anniversary of hundreds of first responders dying, trying to rescue innocent civilians who were attacked by terrorists?
Well, you know the answer to that. Yeah, of course it is. But people are going to do what they want to do. This is a different generation of people. And in other words, they think a lot of things don't apply to them. But, hey, it is what it is. People are entitled. They got a right to do anything they want to do as long as they don't break the law or hurt people. And if their protest is going to be that, fine. It's going to be that. But don't forget now, that's a minority. So for the majority of people are going to understand what 9/11 meant, what this country stands for, the values that we have, and they're going to go in that direction. You can't stop everybody. There's always going to be some malcontents.
Anyways, that doesn't really help. Sorry. So His name rhymes, so we can do like a charades, or I don't know what it's called when you try to like say somebody's name rhymes with. So Mike, and then it rhymes with. I'll just say I'm gonna make up a word. Mitka.
Oh, Ditka.
Yeah. So it's Ditka, but I just wanted to like it's close enough to sounding like Dick. Yeah, that's basically it. Did you have a celebrity dick or anything like that?
Did I have one? Have as in what do you mean?
Oh, not like actually have one, like know one personally, but I mean like like never dated one, but can you think of anybody whose name is like Richard or Dick that you want to describe and I'll guess?
Okay, he played in the movie Primal Fear.
Oh shit, okay.
Pretty Woman.
Oh, Richard Gere. Yeah, that's good. That Pretty Woman's one of my favorite movies because of like her story in the movie.
I watched Primal Fear last night. I own the movie, and so that's why he came to mind.
Is that good? I haven't seen that. I don't think.
It's definitely good. It's traumatizing.
Is it?
But
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that. Like psychologically, yeah. Oh.
It's psychologically and emotionally just after that movie went off, I just felt like a washed up rag. I was just like, oh God, I just need rest. Like I can't live with all this going on in my head now. Like, oh my God.
You're like focused on the problem of the movie. Oh, I gotta watch it then. I think I may have seen it. I recognize the movie poster. I recognize that, and then Edward Norton's in it. That's cool.
Well, it's he's a good, and he was super young then, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks young.
He's a good actor, and it was my third time watching it. I'll put it like this: it was my third or fourth time watching it last night, and it was something in there that I didn't realize until I watched it again last night, and I love those kind of movies,
Like you watch it a second time, you discover something new about it. Yeah.
And like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Green Mile.
I like that movie. Yeah.
Well, my kids, I'll leave you with this. Like my kids, like love the movie, and I let them watch it. It's a gruesome movie, and I made them turn away from the bloody stuff. But it's it's a friggin' funny movie if you watch it with children.
That's fun. Okay, maybe I'll get my nephew and niece watch it with me.
There's a part of the movie where they use the janitor to help them prepare for the next execution, So they have to walk through the execution with the janitor, and but he doesn't take it seriously whatsoever. And they ask him the part, they say, "Do you have any last words? Any last requests?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want a fried chicken dinner."
Mm-hmm.
With gravy on the taters, and I want to shit in your hat. And
yeah.
So, like, my older kids, like, they know, like, when they say that, my 6-year-old is gonna say the part where, she's gonna say her favorite part. So they always, like, she'll be just on her tablet doing something, on her little computer doing something, and they'll just start voicing the movie, like, "Oh yeah, I want a fried chicken dinner, gravy on the taters," and then she'll just come up from whatever she's doing. "I want to shit in your hat," and I'm just like, I'm a bad parent. And just like the first time she did it, I eat ice and I almost choked on a cube. I swear, I wasn't ready for it because I was just like, "What did you just say?" But the thing that makes it so funny is that she didn't realize she was like. I was right there, and that she had even said it. It just came out like,
yeah.
And it was just,
she's a good actress.
Right? Like it's her part. She's like, "I want to shit in your hat," and then like, have you ever seen the movie?
Yeah, I was sad when Michael Clark Duncan died. Not like in real life. Sorry, like in real life as well.
So stupid. No, I was sad when Dale died. The Frenchman. The French guy, like, me and the kids cried. on that part, but then
yeah.
then they start laughing almost immediately after because what is his name? I forget that actor's name. The bad guy on that movie. He's like singing barbecue, me and you. And he's like singing about how they fried him. So,
weird. Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, girl, I gotta get back in this house. I'm getting text messages and calls.
Oh, what's your social media, by the way, or like what's your Twitter?
I don't even have a Twitter.
That's fine. You have Instagram or Facebook?
I do. I'm Miss Shug, MRSSUGE on Instagram. That's MRSSUGE. And on Facebook, I'm Tara Shakespeare Laughs or Tara Laughs or Tara Shakespeare.
And then do you have do you have any shows coming up that you want to plug? Because this will go up like tonight.
Oh, I have to look.
Okay.
I have a Runner show coming up on the 30th of November. So that's it. It's a free show. So come out and support.
Runners. Okay.
I have another show coming up on the 23rd, but I don't have the venue or the date yet.
Okay, that's no problem.
Or the time. I don't have the venue or the time yet, so I can't plug it until I get what I need. So yeah, and some other stuff coming up in December. But I try to do very few shows in December because single parent Christmas, it's just tough.
Gotta work, yeah. I'll just be there for them.
I absolutely enjoyed this.
Oh, thank you.
podcast.
Yeah. Thank you for being on.
Fun. Yeah. And maybe next time you want to have me on, I'll do it from my truck.
Oh, that would be so fun. I mean, for me, that'd be fun, obviously.
I know.
I don't know about you. I don't know.
But no, my diesel engine would be so loud, though, so I don't know if it would be a good idea.
Our email is pleasesenddickpics@gmail.com, and remember to please send dick pics, and thank you for being on.
Thank you.